I'll ask you for a few minutes of your time and a bit of silence. Thank you very much for coming, everybody. I'm very happy you made the trip. For some it was longer, for some quite short. Just a few kilometers, and actually I don't know who is from farthest away. It might be
Norbert.
Technically it's Norbert. Although Stuart might have a word to say.
Yeah, Ireland, that's right. Yeah, that's a little further, I think.
No, he's from Virginia and you're from New Jersey.
You're not from the north.
So, once again, thank you for coming, and I hope you will have a good weekend. We will start shortly. I have the pairings done already. I made a few changes, as I announced, to not make people who know each other play each other. For instance, it paired all the Austrian guys together, so I made some changes. The tables are marked. We have all kinds of terrain. We have everything. We have trenches, we have deep water, we have shallow water, we have hills and obstacles, we have concealment walls, we have also solid walls for cover. I will do a very quick run through. The terrain is mostly standardized, apart from a few loss blockers. A lot of it is just 2D, so you don't have to balance models on top of dice, and I didn't bother with trees this time because from my experience the first thing you do when you come to the table, you put the tree to the side, right? Yes, everybody is shaking their head. So,
of course not.
No trees here. Forests are either printed out like you see here, or just a green piece of carpet. Trenches are rectangular with sprayed edges like you see here. And then we have shallow water. Shallow water is...
Is the whole thing in the trench or just the black pit?
The whole thing is a trench, but in order to benefit from all the stuff you have to be in the recess.
So just the black pit?
Just the black pit, yeah.
Okay.
It's like the template that's in the back of the book.
Okay.
Shallow water is all the greenish swamps. What's the cover?
Swamp is the last.
Bayou. And deep water is all the blue stuff, the nice looking one where you don't want your warjack to land. It's very dangerous to warjacks, but otherwise it's just like an obstruction, you cannot move through it unless you have Gatorman. So, yes,
Or ghosts.
So just avoid having your warjack tossed into it. Then we have hills. Hills are also just printed out. In most cases there are a few here that are slightly higher, but otherwise the hills have such rocky texture and are just laminated.
Okay, how tall they are?
1 inch, of course. They provide elevation. If you touch them, everything, and you actually can just touch them without your model dropping off. So those are hills, and lastly there is some obstructions. Some of them are just pieces of statues. You will see some are crystals. And if you are unsure, of course you can call me. Then there are also ruins, but they are higher than 1 inch. You can, when you arrive at the table, you measure the walls and to be sure, or of course you can ask. But everything that's 1 inch high is a wall. Those walls are higher, so they are impassable unless you are ghostly. However, at least one has a door, so you can go through the door. They are, what you see is what you get, so if you can move through, you can move through. Also, some of the crystals have space to move through, so it's really what you see is what you get. You are free to agree with your opponent to leave it just impassable if you wish so, but it's up to you. So this should have all the terrain covered. There are a few bigger pieces to block line of sight. We won't be able to see underneath, So, and if it's just cropping out, you can move below, but then it doesn't provide cover. It's just fancy looking terrain. So just the base of the terrain is actual terrain, the rest is for the looks. This should cover all the terrain. As I said, if there's a problem, please try to agree with your opponent beforehand, because I will not be able to make a judgment in the middle of the game when the charge to your caster depends on it. I don't want to decide one way or the other. So speak about terrain, it should be fairly obvious.
Did you say you had linear obstacles that were also hedges? No?
Yes, hedges are quite clear. They are greenish with a bit of soft green moss, scenery type, and the wall is like this. There are also a few walls that are, I think, fairly obvious. They are not 3D, but they are stone. They have stone texture. Let me find one. There should be several. Just none here, obviously. They have a stone texture and are just an 1-inch line. So
I think we took it out yesterday. I think we took it out because it was not obvious.
Okay, so we might not have them. So what you see?
This provides only concealment?
Only concealment, yes.
Okay. And do you have to need the pathfinder to charge through it?
Yes, it's still an obstacle.
Okay.
It just offers a different kind of protection.
Okay.
Okay. I would like to take this opportunity to thank Martin and our other Martin for providing, helping me provide these tables for you, setting it up. So a big round of applause. We have only 2 tables that are not 48 times 48. All others you don't need to worry about measuring a shorter deployment zone or anything. It's this one, there is a shorter deployment zone, and one in the other room also with a blanket. All others are measured to the exact distance, so you don't play on the sticky tape, you just play on the designed area. They are numbered. That room has tables 1 through 7, all the rest are here. And we will have a lot of prizes. We will have some special prizes I already announced. We will do raffles for some of the prizes. Some of them I will be giving out on special occasions. I will maybe do small missions for each particular round, for the fastest caster kill or the fewest models needed to kill. So I will announce these. Yes. Anyone who manages to sink a jack will get a special prize for sure. So try to sink a jack. And
can I sink my own jack?
good point. Enemy jack. Okay, if it's more than 10 points, you can sink your own. But it has to be in the first round, not after you have already won. Okay, so we will have special prizes like this. There is a goodie bag, however I don't have bags. So I will be distributing the goodies during the round 1, during the first round, just before we start the round. There will be a master time. Since I'm the only judge, if there is an issue you are allowed to stop the time, but please be sensible about it. And if there is too much time left, I will have to award a double loss. We have a good tradition in Central Europe of double losses, right, Stefan? So I am not afraid to award those. And there is one more thing. I will be allowing some proxy models because due to my fault to a certain extent, also the distributor is to blame, but they simply didn't send me the package I ordered more than a week ago. Luckily the support came from Ulysses, so we have some prizes, some very nice stuff, but they forgot to send the second part. So there are a few models people were waiting for and were promised, and also a few models that I promised to get for them, but I forgot in the heat of the preparation. So to not penalize them, I will allow a few proxies. Also, a few people traveling forgot the odd model, so I think we don't want to spoil the fun for them with a model here or there.
Except if it's Crix.
It's no tricks. We will
If
try.
somebody forgot strong one, I got a lowest.
We will try to have the models as fitting as possible. We have one unit of Stonefall archers that are disguised as striders, but they still have pointy ears, so it counts.
And bows.
Yes, and bows. So the people who have such models, please discuss it with your opponent, make them aware, but so far I haven't encountered anybody who would ask for a model to be removed, and I hope we will not start with it here, because I will still not remove it. So those are proxy models, and I think we can start. I will I would like to ask you about your lunch preference. We will do an order of pizzas and pasta, but there's a fine restaurant, Asian restaurant, just across the street we can visit. So I will also probably go during round one and ask you for your preference. If you want a pizza, then we can order it after round one, because they are opening around 11. They have also some fancy pizzas, but probably it will be easier if you choose one of the regular ones, like quattro formaggi and ham mushroom and stuff like this, or Hawaii or whatever. But you can, if you finish earlier, you can of course come and take a look at the menu on my computer. It's only in Slovak, so I don't know how much help that will be. We have free Wi-Fi. It's the 5-element. The password is named after Jaromir with a J, Jaromir55. You can log into to brag about your victories and blame your dice about your losses all over the interwebs. And yes,
Lunch break is after the second game.
after the second game, we have free beer and non-alcoholic drink in the kitchen. I will also supply some more mineral water, and I will ask you to help set up the scenarios. You will get zones and objectives and stuff, and you will set them up. I will simply roll for them. We have 6 different ones. I am using also regular steamroller scenarios due to the availability of zones and non-availability of double big circle zones. But I think all of the steamroller scenarios are good to play, and we are not playing incursion. We have a choice of destruction, obviously. Supply and demand, 1 central, 12-inch AOE, 2 objectives. Then we have just 2 flags, the regular one, close quarters. Then we have the one where you remove your opponent's points, balance of power. Then we have 3 flags.
Incursion.
That's incursion.
Yes.
I thought we have 3 flags. You can't have a tournament without 3 flags to piss somebody off. And the last one was fire support. Yes, 2 objectives, 2 flags. Everyone will get their special objectives, which you can keep. It's with the logo of SteamStorm, and it's provided by our awesome friends at Templates and Widgets. It has 15 damage points for you to mark, and you will also be provided with a special marker to mark it, where the logo is not visible because they fucked it up. It's a small black blob, but it's still usable and it marks your damage. among other things you will get.
Martin, I have one more question. Is the air conditioning working, or we have to?
Yes, yes, but I don't know. Can we
just open the
working,
windows?
but I think fresh air is probably better. Feel free to open the door, windows, and there is a special knob to raise the shutters. I will operate them during the first round. So let's get finally to playing. Yes. I will just shortly mention the special prizes. I mentioned them in the mail, but I will repeat them because apparently not many people are reading my mails. We have a special prize to give away. Actually, two of them. One is provided by Dr. Norbert and his team. It's a free entry for SmokeCon 2015. The biggest and best convention in Europe, I dare say. American style convention, but still better than the American ones. Because it's in Europe, obviously. And also we were kindly provided a free entry ticket to the EU Masters by Sanka and his team, and it was brought to us by Rob. And I cannot resist bragging that we have more nationalities than the last EU Masters, so they have now big shoes to fill. Okay guys, let's start playing. I will set up